welcome into the last edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast film review for the 2023 Florida Gators football season. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and on this episode, we'll take a look at Florida's offense versus Florida State's defense. Coming into the game, Florida's defense success rate-wise was 14th in the country, number 1 versus the pass, and 32nd versus the run, which would bode well for Florida. They were able to run the ball better in this game than they were able to pass the ball, finishing with just 86 passing yards, 7 for 16 on third down, which is right about their average third down completion percentage on the season anyway, and then 146 rushing yards in this football game. So Florida did have the running game going throughout the game at various times, but it wasn't enough, not enough production to lead to enough points, and Florida obviously just really couldn't score after they jumped out with plenty of opportunities in the first half as this game moved along into the second half. As always, if you like this content, sub to this channel, like this video. Check out our podcast where each and every Monday we bring you in-depth analysis, and drop us a dono on Patreon where you can support our efforts to bring you more of this type of content all year long. Once again, I'll apologize for my voice. I just seem to not be able to recover. I guess my voice is gone the way of the Gators. Too much talking, yelling, and frustration perhaps. All right, let's start with 2nd down and 6 now. Backup quarterback Max Brown in the game, the battle of backup quarterbacks in Florida. Starting off here is wanting to, of course, continue their trend of scoring in 5 of their last 6 games on the opening drive. Now, Florida State saw the same thing we saw on film last game, and that is that, of course, Max is a runner. Even though Florida empties this out, take a look at their linebacker who is simply spying Max Brown here. He doesn't want to let him run early on. They respect his running ability, and of course, things get a whole lot easier when you run a simple stunt right here, and that's going to leave Florida's defense just completely befuddled as if they've never seen anything like that before. It's like, whoa, what is this? What's happening? No idea. How about an easy tackle at the line of scrimmage? Simple stunt right here again, one more time, leads to just an easy tackle. So what's funny is on the defensive side for Florida, Florida often employs the same thing, and a lot of times I'll get comments about how it's, sort of silly that Florida's defense would do this. Well, it's a really good tactic, and when it works really well, as you see right there, and this leads to 3rd down now for Florida. 3rd down and 6, there is Florida's 3rd down conversion percentage, 95th in college football. That is not going to lead to winning, obviously. So Florida's offense, although in success rates a top 40 offense, their major struggles have been throwing the ball down the field with any kind of consistency, and then, of course, converting on 3rd down. All right, I love the play design here on this one. We're going to bring ETN into the flat to pull the linebacker here on this assignment. And then we're going to have a really nice slow building concept here where Ricky is going to pull his zone defender, Florida State's in zone here, out of the way because this release stays in what 7 thinks is his zone. And then a really nice job here by Trey to wait. Again, we've talked about this all year long, getting the timing right when you run these rub routes, and that's perfection, right? That's how you do it right there. 7 is now covering effectively nobody. He has no idea where the inside release receiver is. As you can see, he turns right now, and then all we need to do is deliver a good ball to a wide open receiver on a really easy pitch and catch for a 3rd down conversion. This is not a good ball at all by Max Brown. Understandable, he's nervous in this scenario. Also, obviously a project guy, not a guy who Florida, I think, thought was really ever going to play. Here he comes, he's in, makes the right read. Great catch there by Trey. Not a great ball, great catch. We're off to the races, and we're moving here early in this football game. Good start with the 1st down. All right, 1st down. And you were going to see, as we called it on last week's film review, the 10 out of 10 Max Brown zone read fake, and you're going to see how Florida State respects this. Look at the absolutely excellent verse for Florida State. He's going to show up all over this film. 5 was killing Florida all day long, but Max right here is going to show you why he is so good at the zone read. In fact, I think Florida should have tried to run the zone read way more than they did in this situation. because of what you're going to see here. And a lot of Florida's running success actually did have to do with Max. Even if you don't register it, this is why Florida State got penetration almost all game long. But because he's so late with this fake pulling, he keeps Verse waiting till the very last moment, to where now that Etienne gets it, and Etienne's so explosive, Verse can't wrap him up. Again, if Verse does not respect the running ability of Max Brown, then he's just coming in here and eating this play alive, right? This play is dead. However, he must respect it, and that's going to allow Etienne to pick up 7 or 8 yards here. For the majority of what we're going to see in the first half, Florida was picking up positive yards on almost every run, whether it was 2 or 3 or 6 or 7, and in large part it was because of Florida State having to respect the running ability of Max Brown and also speculating Florida was going to utilize that. 3rd down and 1 now. Again, Florida going to have to deal with Jared Verse, and this time you're going to see why Max Brown is a 10 out of 10 zone read for me, right? Here he comes. He's flying, and he thinks, forget it. It's 3rd and 1. I'm going to take them both out. I'm going to take both these guys out. I'm not going to slow down. I don't need to make a read because Florida State is executing a scrape exchange. Verse is no longer responsible for the edge. He gets to come and fly in here and make a play, but look how long Max holds this ball, and look how quick he is. Watch the ball and how quick he is to hide it. Look at this. Wham, it's hidden. So quick with this move. Verse is going to split the difference here and get nobody. I mean, look at this. Again, he's one of the best defensive ends in the country. Comes shooting through, looks back. Uh-oh, he got me. And then there goes Max, right? So again, he's really special with that zone read fake. I mean, he's on the teach tape, as we talked about last week. You could put that on the teach tape for any college quarterback in the country. He is so good at it, and he earns Florida a crucial 1st down here on that first drive. All right, 1st down and 10. If you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you know Florida likes to take shots on 1st down, and they're going to have a touchdown here to Ricky, who's going to simply run a go route where he takes a little stutter step out and then releases on the inside, and he absolutely torches his defender for a walk-in touchdown. The only problem is we don't even come close to looking, we being Florida, to looking at this throw because there's pressure basically instantaneously from Florida State. We get a safety blitz in here. We get a linebacker coming out through the C gap over here, and then one coming around here, matched up on Etienne. So the instant pressure that George has to deal with, and he does get his hands just enough here to reroute Brown, but he already gets him off the spot, right? So ideally, if you want this play to work perfectly, you execute your fake, you go back here, and when your right foot hits the ground, you have a clean pocket to step 1, maybe 2 steps into if you need to for extra time. If not, your right foot hits the ground, you step and you throw a touchdown to Ricky. Or let's say your first read is over here to Trey, who's coming across on this deep over. You hit the ground here, you read that one. If you don't like that, you take one climb step and you throw a touchdown to Ricky, right? But again, Florida's not even going to be close to that. So all I'm saying here is that Ricky beats his man and gets wide open, but there's no real shot of Florida getting it there because right away we've got a hand on Max Brown, and now we got another guy coming in because Etienne misses him in pass pro right here, and we're just scrambling for our lives on 1st down and 10. Let's get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's minimize the damage right here. Right, this play is not going to go well here for Florida. It's not going to be a touchdown to Ricky. And if my tape starts working correctly, you'll actually see what happens. If not, you'll just guess. But Max is pretty elusive. He gets himself right back to the line of scrimmage. So 1st down and 10 is not a loss. It's just a reset for 2nd down. 3rd down and 10. This is going to be one of the 2 best throws that Max makes all day long. It's going to be a sensational ball here to Trey, who is going to be running a route here, and he is going to drop this thing in the bucket. Now, one thing about Max's passing technique that you can see already, and of course he is under a lot of pressure, but in general, I think as a guy who played a lot of baseball, myself included, he's comfortable throwing with a variety of arm angles, but also he's comfortable throwing with, I'm going to call a bad platform. He's sort of just ready to sling it, and so everything is fine here. But watch what his tendency is as we're watching this read. He is fading away. Notice how he's going backwards, backwards, little steps backwards, backwards. And now when he's throwing, momentum is this way, right? If you go back to AR, or if you go back to previous reviews on this film channel, we spent a lot of time talking about quarterbacks throwing, Kyle Trask, etc., others, what it should look like when you're throwing the football. And one thing you never want to do as a quarterback is obviously fade away backwards. You want to be driving with your legs into your throw as much as possible. Now, sometimes, of course, you have to do this, but pocket presence is a big deal here. And he is actually going to move himself, as you can see here, into this throw lane. Now look, he's under duress. I get it, right? This is tough. He's got guys coming at him from everywhere. But ideally here, you're able to step into this throw. He's not, and he does make a sensational throw. That's an incredible throw. I mean, that's an NFL level throw. It's absolutely fantastic. The problem with this result is nothing. It's fantastic. The problem with future throws that you make from that kind of platform is you're going to get a lot of variance. You're going to get a lot of variance, right? And quarterback play at the highest level is about consistency. So I think for Max heading into the offseason, he's going to want to work on his pocket presence, footwork, and delivering a ball with his feet underneath him on platform as much as possible, especially when he has an ability to do so, because if not, he's going to lead to inaccurate throws. But that throw is as good of a pass as you will see at any level. I mean, this is an absolute dot right there, only where Trey can catch it, right on the sideline. A phenomenal conversion for Florida here on this first drive of the game. We've eaten up 5 minutes already, and we're still driving with the football. Both Montrell and Etienne broke off big runs in this game, but Montrell had opportunities to break off more. He found himself in several one-on-one situations in this game, and he's going to find one here as he bounces this outside. Everything here is bottled up by Florida State. He bounces it outside side. We catch Florida State in man. We catch Florida State with their safety coming down here in run fit, right? This is really important when you talk about Florida's own issues. You have to have good tackling safeties if you're going to play a split safety. He is in coverage. He is in run fit. He's coming down here. And if he makes him miss, only one defender on this side can do anything about it. Sort of a running back dream right here. You come out into the flat, a million options at your disposal, one-on-one with a safety, and this is an excellent tackle. I mean, that's a great play. If you're Montrell, you wish you could make a move here because you're probably going to score a touchdown. Instead, an open field tackle. I mean, again, that is great stuff on film right there, right? That's how you play safety. You come down, you get in the box, you make a one-on-one tackle with tons of space. Opportunity missed there for Florida. A lot of Billy's running play designs are excellent. I talk about that frequently on the channel. It's the passing plays and lack of just really passing production on passing downs that hurts Florida. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5 or longer, and 2nd and 7 or longer. Florida just tends to not be successful under Napier. Really throughout most of his career, it's been his Achilles heel, I think, as an offensive coordinator. But his run plays are generally excellent. This run play, however, on 3rd and 3, leaves a lot to be desired. You were asking Hansen here to down block Verse. That's a tall order, especially from where he is standing and where Verse is lined up. Then you're going to have George come around the end here, and we're going to set this up with this jet sweep. But Verse, I mean, I don't know how in the world Hansen's supposed to outstep him with as quick as he is, and he's not. I mean, look at this. I mean, he's got no shot, right? No shot at all, and he's right there in the backfield, and this play's dead before it started. Bam. Dead. A pretty bold decision there to have to take the best player on Florida State's defense, have your tight end who's okay at blocking, block from an outside disadvantaged position, and have your left tackle come around rather than just stay right here and block him in the first place. And imagine instead that we just keep him home to block this, and we send Hansen out here, which is more normal, right? Then we're fine. In all reality here, we're fine. And actually, we're probably going to get a first down. But that is perhaps overthinking it there on 3rd down and 3. And Florida pays the price as they get stopped. They lose yardage. And then they would ultimately miss a field goal. So a chance for points goes by the wayside on a good, long first drive. So advantage Florida State on that one. Surviving no points despite Florida running a lot of plays and getting all the way down the field, then ultimately losing yards at the end and then missing a field goal. Florida's D with a 3-and-out. Now Florida's offense back with the ball on 2nd and 10. And although Florida State did expect Max Brown to run, Florida was still able to take advantage of Florida State in certain looks. Here you can see there is no defender in the middle of the field. This is a good time for Max to try to run. 2 high safeties here. This is where you want to try quarterback runs. Ideally the best look to get it from. And as we see here, Florida's offensive line, again, struggled in this game mightily, is going to get some wins on this play right here. Florida State's going to twist, and then Florida's going to capture that on both sides. And look at what we have here. We have a 2-way go, essentially, for Max Brown. Max Brown going to show you his athleticism by stepping here and then coming out this gap here. So setting up for more yardage right there. Good fake, come out the side. And we're off to the races right here. So 2nd down and 10 for Max becomes almost a 1st down. So Florida gets a favorable look by emptying it out. There is no linebacker in the middle like we saw before. Good blocking by the O-line, and Florida's set up with 3rd and short. 3rd and 1 now. Florida is going to lose the battle up front on this one, and what you're going to have here is just a nice run here by Montrell. Montrell on his own is going to wind up picking up this 1st down, because right away we have immediate pressure almost right into Montrell. Sidesteps that one. Pressure here off the edge. Go inside that one. Use your leverage. Get your pad level low and convert that 1st down. So Montrell avoids disaster here from Florida on 3rd down and 1 in the backfield right there. Gets around the corner. Is able to pick up this 1st down for Florida. Not good execution there up front, but Montrell gets the job done. 2nd and 6, as much as possible, of course, Florida wants to get the ball and should be getting the ball into Trey Wilson's hands as well as ETN's hands. They are the 2 most dynamic players on Florida's offense. We've talked about that all season long, and that's been put on film all season long as well. Florida has a chance for a big play here on 2nd down and 6, and unfortunately they're not going to be able to capitalize. They're going to bring Trey underneath, and we're matched up here. It's a favorable matchup for us. And then we're going to get him here. Now this ball's going to be there. Tricky throw, obviously, for Max. You're going to fake that ball there, roll out to the right. We saw this with AR. We've seen this with Mertz. But especially this play with AR, where obviously you're going to get a guy right in your face. Every team in the country knows Florida wants to roll out to the right. And as soon as they see that action, they send their unblocked man right back there. It just makes these plays so much harder for Florida. Again, I think Florida would do well to roll to the left a lot more often, so teams can't just do this as sort of an auto default. But we can see that Trey has got his man beat significantly. He's not going to catch Trey. So if we can get this ball out in front of him, right here from Max, out in front of him, it's a short throw, then we are going to have a significant play here, a lot of chunk yardage. This play might be 20, 30. He makes one last guy miss. Could be a touchdown style play here, and instead, 2nd and 6 becomes an incomplete pass. 3rd down and 6, and thankfully you're going to get a replay on this one because this play is really made by Khalil Jackson, just absolutely cooking his man on a slant at the bottom of your screen where the ESPN scoreboard is. And, you can't, what can you do here? Nothing. You can't see it. All we see on television is that Max Brown throws on 3rd and 6 to a wide open Khalil Jackson, who is turning all the way around to catch the ball, so we know it's not a great throw. But it is a 1st down. Florida's receivers did a nice job helping their quarterback out in this game. Whenever the ball was near them, they were catching it. That, of course, is what you want to see. So good work by them. But let's take a look right here and see why this play works so well. And this is absolute filth here. Just straight filth on film by Khalil Jackson. I mean, look at this move right here. When you run a slant route and the corner is looking at your sideline, and they're trying to hold your hand. Good job. Sweet move. Let me just hold some of that greatness as you absolutely cook me, right? High five backwards style. I got you, man. Sweet route. And now you turn around. I mean, you are absolutely cooked, right? Khalil is so open. This is a better ball. It's put out in front of him. Instead, Khalil has to turn all the way around back into the defender, which makes this play look a lot better for him than it should be because he should still be off to the races. But that is an absolutely cold route there by Khalil Jackson, turning the defender all the way around. Great stuff. This is going to be the other best throw of the day by Max, and this is going to be absolutely filthy on this route right here. It doesn't get any better than this as he rolls out to his right. There's your play fake. Here comes your flood concept. Low, right? High is the runoff, and then middle is what you have here. So you've got a three-way flood up the sideline, and Max with plenty of space rolls out, finds himself in green grass, and decides he could hit Ricky right here. He's like, I see Ricky, but I also could have this instead, and this is what I want. I'm feeling that. I see that linebacker can't get there. Let me take that ball instead. And I mean, this doesn't get any better than this. This ball is absolutely perfect. This is a perfect pass right in stride. I mean, look at that pass. Just disgusting. Great stuff there from Max. And early in the first quarter here, Florida's taking it to Florida State. Very next play, I love what Max does on this play. Really good quarterbacking. We're going to fake this screen, which we've seen Florida put on film before, in hopes of hitting our routes down the field right here. And those are not going to be there because Florida State's going to drop everyone back. You can see right here, we're going out here and here, and Florida State's dropping everyone back, which means that Max just needs to work back to his check down, right? To his check down one more time. And again, my app today is giving me problems. Sorry for the jumpiness. We just got to work with it. But right there, Max sees, okay, back turned, guy over the top. I know I'm going right back to my check down. Let me hit this pass. Let me take a nice outside arm angle so he can't block this ball down. And then there it is, right? Nice conversion to ETN, another guy you want to have with the ball in his hands in this situation. Down the sideline we go. Let's make a play on first down and 10, and let's get more than the first down, right? So first down from our first down, really, really nice stuff there from Max. Good command early on. Florida now really threatening to score. First and goal from the 2. Florida runs this play a lot, and it's a good play. Florida scores on this play a lot too, where you get the crossers right here. It's a good play. Khalil Jackson's going to be wide open for an easy tutty, but that's not going to happen when you don't block at all right here. You're just going to let him, take a look, 55 right here. Just going to let him come right in. Just absolutely no blocking whatsoever. Here you go. Nobody blocks him. Nobody blocks him. No one's assigned to him. No one's there. I mean, just a complete fail as 75 Cameron Waits out there is blocking someone who is covering Ricky. He's not even coming in. So you got your right tackle blocking nobody. And because of that, here comes a lineman right in the face of Max Brown, who cannot throw the ball to a completely uncovered Khalil Jackson, who has nobody on him. I mean, if you block this guy for 1 second, he gets his foot in the ground here and lobs in an easy touchdown. And we do not. Instead, we take a big loss on first and goal from the 2 because we can't block. So, missed assignment, loss on the play. Third and goal now. Now it's the quarterback's job to call protections. One thing I do not know on this film review is what the offensive line protections are at any given time. I have no idea. So when you see a linebacker who is threatening to blitz but may not, and then you see him get right through where nobody blocks him at all, is it possible that we did not get our protection call correct? It is. Whatever the case is, it's not a good look on third and goal to have this happen. Look at this. Not what you want. Free run at your quarterback. Not going to get this off. Of course, Florida trying to run a rub route here with a slant pick combo coming over here. I like the route combination. What I don't like, though, is this. This is really bad. And then here, really state of college football, state of the NFL, that gets called for, I think contact to the head here. And that, this is, what else is he supposed to do? His head's up. To me, this is clean as it gets, right? He keeps his face mask up. He doesn't launch with his helmet. He hits him with his chest, tackles him to the ground, and we get a penalty on Florida State. Look, I hate Florida State. It's open. If you're a Florida State fan, you watch this channel, it's all good. I do film review. It's cool. It's fun. It's just football. But obviously, I'm not rooting for you, and I don't like it. But I also care about the integrity of the game, right, the most. And to me, it is frustrating, no matter how these penalties are called, It's just is hurting the game of football, and that is not a penalty, and that should not be a penalty, but it becomes one, and Florida's going to wind up getting a touchdown instead of 3 points because of it. And, that to me is just something I think that needs to get fixed. There's too many clean plays that are being called. I do think it's affecting the game. 2nd and goal now from the 5 with the bonus life that Florida gets, and they're going to cash in with a touchdown here as the the jet sweep of Ricky going to pull defenders to the outside. This is kind of the home run if you're Billy, right? This is where all of your window dressing works really well. Here comes your split zone, throwing so much eye candy here at the defense, and then you win up front, right? You win right here with George. You win right here with Hansen. Richie Leonard winning with Slaughter. A hole you could drive a truck through, a hole that most of you watching this film review could have actually run through and scored, right? I mean, everyone is fooled. Look how fooled he is. Again, this is the power of a quarterback who can run the football, is you are confusing these players. They think you're keeping it. Deception is key here. The quarterback helps earn this with a really good fake to where all of these guys with their eyes on the ball are here. He still doesn't know where the ball is. He does. Can't do anything about it from here. Montreal's going to walk into the end zone untouched, and Florida cashes in on that call and takes a early 7-0 lead in the second quarter where they've had the ball almost the entire game. Just 7 points, 2 possessions, but a good start nonetheless. After a blocked punt, Florida's in business now, starting on the 40-yard line. Can they cash in with more points? A little split zone here from Billy. A play Florida runs really, really well. Here comes Arliss, split zone. You're going to zone everything off this way. Bring your tight end across. And then running back has an option. They can either run here or they can run here. They can take their pick. Etienne is going to choose correctly to come here. Florida's blocking really good on this. Hansen wins his battle. Look at Arliss locking up there. And again, when Etienne is as quick as he is, if you can just lock up quickly, he's going to be past you. He makes it easy for you, and he maximizes the play. There he is. It's like he's shot out of a cannon. Doesn't look like it here on this jumpy film review. I get that. Shot out of a cannon there. Always one of the quickest guys in the field coming out of the hole. And that is going to be a first down from a first down right here, right? So really, really good stuff. Again, I apologize for the jumpiness. I tried a million things to fix it. It is just not cooperating, much like Florida's football season this year, I suppose. But either way, as we see Etienne sort of jump across the screen here, first down from a first down, and Florida, again, setting up shop here, trying to increase this lead from 7-0 to more. All right, 1st and 10 now, after all the jumpiness of Etienne's run. Etienne's still in the game here. Florida out of the pistol. Going to bring the fake orbit motion in and just go with an inside. Again, split zone here. Handoff to Etienne. Going to hit the gap right in here and take a look again at Richie Leonard's block along with Slaughter. Right there. Slaughter here. Pass off Leonard, second level. Seal that. Nice gap. Look at this gap to go through here. Good stuff from Florida. Good vision from Etienne. He sees that close down. Come right through there. Let's pick up a bunch of positive yards on first down. All right, second down gains a couple of yards, setting up 3rd down and 1. Florida going to go under center here. Florida's been successful running QB sneaks with Mertz, especially behind Mazuka, who tends to get really good launches off the snap. He's not going to get one here. Now, one thing about working with a different quarterback is snap count, timing. Everything is not going to be the same. The cadence is different. Florida does not get a good launch here. On film before, we tend to see Mazuka really just launch himself. Watch Mazuka's jump, and then watch his pad level, which is way too high. Take a look. Ball snapped, not a good jump, slow to jump, and then also a high pad level here. Not able to drive anyone back. Just becomes a rugby scrum pile. Max Brown goes into it and falls straight down, and we do not pick up this first down. So 3rd down and 1 becomes 4th down and 1 about right there. Florida's up 7-0. Billy elects to kick a field goal. Now, I am a big believer in the rule of scores. At this point in time, Florida State playing with a backup quarterback where Florida's defense has been absolutely dominant. Going up 2 scores here is a fine option. Of course, going for it also a fine option as well, especially since Florida had been generally successful running the football versus Florida State, even though Florida State has been getting a significant amount of pressure. But going up 2 scores here is actually just fine with me, and I love the positive EV of going for it on short yardage situations. But again, Florida State's been getting a lot of pressure. It's not probably higher than 60% you pick that up. You still have to drive from there. So I think in different scenarios, different opponents, going for it probably makes sense more often. But in this situation, putting yourself up 10-0 in a game where your opposition has done nothing thus far is certainly reasonable. Again, I think either option in this situation was okay. Plenty of times I think one is much better than the other. And EV-wise, it is better to go for it almost always in this situation, right? 4th and 1, 4th and short, go for it. But I think in this case, it's fine to kick the field goal, go up 2 scores, which Florida does. And of course, if you like the aggressive play, which again, I tend to favor that one myself, that also obviously has plenty of merit and a higher EV. But Florida will kick the field goal. Florida will go up 10-0. Florida's next drive now still up 10-0. 3rd down and 6, and you're going to have another issue on the offensive line. Safety blitz comes in here. Here's Cameron Waits, the right tackle, and absolutely nobody is going to pick this up. Nobody is going to pick this up. Nobody. That's a shame because we have Trey. Another good route combo here, right? This is looking nice. Let's watch it. Same exact thing we saw before, where Trey is going to work under a pick by Ricky. And that is a great pick, great rub play, all legal, really good stuff, something we called for all season long, and we started getting it in the second half of the season, and this is why this stuff is solid, right? If you get man-to-man defense, it's an easy way to convert. Only problem here, 1, we have a lot of pressure going to safety blitz, and 2, Brown is not actually looking at Trey. In fact, he's throwing over the top. He wants to throw this ball here. He's coming in here like this. That's the throw that he wants. That's what he's looking at. And look, that's also fine. Obviously, running out of time. This throw is easier. It's shorter. It's faster. Ricky's also open. He beats his guy, right? He is open. They're both open. But the insta one you want is this one. So if you're a quarterback and you're watching this film, you're playing high school, whatever the case may be, your read here is to read this mesh point. You are reading the interaction of this play. He doesn't matter. He's going to your running back, right? And as soon as you see this occur, you see 2 defenders with any backward momentum, you stick this under route. Bam, stick it there right now and let him ride out, right? He's going to get head up on the safety really quickly. You don't wait to see what happens with this. You already take this. Now, he doesn't take that. He has that right now before the pressure gets there. And then because he doesn't, he waits a step longer. We're going here. That ball comes out, and thankfully, it's not a pick. It gets caught by Trey, and Trey's almost at the 1st down, but not quite. And that 3rd down and 6 becomes 4th and 1. Another chance for Florida to go for it. Look how short this is. You can see the official right there, right here, 1 yard. In your own territory, you're up 10-0. Florida State's offense, again, has done nothing. Florida will elect to punt. Florida up 12-0 after a safety from the defense. The offense now on the plus side of the field with a chance to deliver perhaps a knockout blow to Florida State in this first half. All of the momentum on Florida's side. What play call would Billy Napier dial up? We're going to start with a jet sweep, jet motion action here from Trey, something we've seen Florida run a ton. Then a reverse here to Khalil. Then a toss back here to Max, in which they are trying to then run a throwback play to Trey. That's where the play is designed to go. Ricky's just running a decoy clear out route here. That's the idea. I'm going to tell you about why I don't like this idea after we just show you the play here in jumpy slow motion, because my play viewer is acting up. But you've all seen the play. You already know the horror that's about to occur. There's your reverse. There's Khalil reversing back into the field and then tossing this to Max, who then grabs onto it right here and then just gets obliterated, right? That's it. Throw it away, get obliterated. Unfortunately, that's intentional grounding. No receivers anywhere near that ball, and Florida takes a 1st and 10 and turns it into a 2nd and 24 and takes a lot of momentum away. Now, I like the idea of trying to use a trick play there, right? I like the idea a lot. Why not try to hit a home run? But let's talk about why I don't like this particular play, and let's see what went wrong with this play in the first place by using a different angle. All right, same play, different angle. We can see exactly what Florida's trying to do here now. There's your jet motion. And then here is your reverse. There's your toss back, and then there's Trey, right? So the goal here is to get all of Florida's blockers here, which we have, versus at this point in time, you can see 2 to 3, then a 4th Florida State defender. So numbers-wise, Florida's going to have a 5 on 4 or potentially just 3 advantage with your best athlete getting the ball in space and everyone else sort of out of the play. That's the goal. Max just catches the ball and throws it away here because you can see Ricky, by the way, is not running a real route. Take a look at Ricky. Ricky's right here if you're curious. He's not running a real route because he's not even looking. He stops, right? He's just watching the scoreboard to see if we're going to have a touchdown here. That's what he's doing. He's literally watching the play on the scoreboard. He's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm cool. And then we're dead, right? Throw away. It's not happening. We're in trouble. That's going to be grounding. So why do I not like this play? Well, it's pretty simple. When you get the entire defense flowing this way, which of course teams know that we want to hit this with Trey, and you can see Florida State does, you then reverse field this way, which first of all, this is not a quality reverse exchange. Notice how Khalil has to stop his momentum entirely to catch this ball. That's not clean. You want to hit this as fast as you possibly can. But the real problem I have with this is Florida State's defense is good. They're a solid defense. You're going to expect them to stay home. Notice how he stays home. He doesn't care if Trey keeps the ball and goes over here because that's not his job. He is going to stay home. He also stays home, right? Now, Florida's accounting for one player staying home, as you can see right here. They're expecting that backside player to stay home. They do not expect, but they should, to have 2 additional players here. Now, why should they expect that? In large part because this play is going to bring the ball right back to these defenders who are out of the play on the initial jet sweep action. It's literally coming right back to them. And now they are going to naturally step here and here and here, which does what? It has all 3 defenders flowing towards your flea flicker. They're already going to be there. There's really no world where they're not going to be there. A good defense, you're going to run right back into them. You're bringing all of your action there, and you're hoping that you have just, a nanosecond to get the ball back over here. But the risk reward is all off. There's a million different ways to run what you would call a gadget play or a trick play or to create more space. But this one offers a tremendous amount of risk being tackled at any time in the backfield. But more importantly, you are bringing defenders with your reverse, right? You're bringing them with your reverse guaranteed every single time. If this is just a reverse, they have to be the ones to stop it. They're going to be there. And now that toss is going to lead them on the same tangent line where they do not have to slow down the momentum at all. And now if you're Max, if you're Trey, Trey's hoping he still throws the ball. Look at Trey's body language, right? He's still thinking, hey, Max, catch this ball right here and then just sling it to me. Which, in theory, he probably could have done it, right? But that is just, that play design, I think, leaves a lot to be desired. And again, I don't mind trying a trick play there. It's the right time to do it. I do not like one where you bring a reverse. It takes you right back to your quarterback and the flow of the defense goes right to him. Intentional grounding, major fail, not a good look, momentum meter way down in this situation. Now, can you overcome it? Yes, but really this was the high point of the game for Florida. Florida would never regain the momentum again in this football game at this magnitude. They would regain the lead, but not the momentum. This play, of course, a tragedy, and again, one I think that was just poorly designed from a play construction standpoint. After a short run on 2nd and 24, it's now 3rd and 17. You got to try something, right? You'd love to get some points here. Your defense is dominated. Let's see what we can scheme up and get going. We're going to fake the screen here to just try to run another screen here. And Florida State is having a whole lot of none of that, right? Here's your first down line. I mean, this play is not happening. Into the boundary, short side of the field screen play. Boundary screenplays with a tight end when you're giving this motion with an empty backfield right here. I don't know what you're hoping for. You're playing against the number one passing defense in the country, success rate wise. So you're not going to have a lot anyway. But putting the ball in Arliss's hands with 18 yards to go feels like you might as well really just try to get the ball in ET's hands, right? Either way, not going to happen often on this down and distance anyway. But Florida does not execute the screenplay there, and they get stopped. So with a chance to kind of put their foot really on the throat of Florida State, they let off. The Gators now only up 12-7 after a Florida State touchdown. There's less than 30 seconds left. Florida State's going to get the ball back to start the second half. Momentum meter is just pegged full Florida State. They've just stopped Florida on first down for a loss of 1. And on 2nd and 11, out of nowhere, here comes Montrell. Great blocking by Florida against split zone. I think, for my money, this has been one of the most successful running plays for Florida all year long versus all the different defenses they faced. They are very successful with this play. This is excellent zone blocking over here. I mean, top-notch stuff. Arliss gets a nice seal here. We're working the second level here. And then we're out the gate. And then Montrell, really nice job here. Look at this, turning the corner and just really outrunning everyone, showing tremendous burst here. As if it's not for 20, that's 6 points. And Florida's in business, at least in field goal range. There's 14 seconds left, perhaps a chance to take a shot at the end zone. One timeout left. Perhaps I just said a shot at the end zone. Of course, you and I both know that's not true. There's no way Billy's taking a shot at the end zone. We're going to sit here in 12 personnel. There's no Trey on the field, and we're going to run the ball. We're going to bunch this thing up nice and tight. Let's get some tight splits here. Let's just run the ball up in here. Let's get ourselves a field goal, right? There's your split zone. Blocking looks good, except unfortunately here, we are going to get a hold on Richie Leonard, who had been blocking really well in this game. In fact, I think he was one of the best offensive linemen of the day for Florida. He does hold right here. You can see he's holding him. He's holding 0 right there. And then down the field goes Montrell with a chance to make a guy miss for a touchdown again here. Possibly. But a big gain, and then right here you're going to see it. In case you're wondering, does 0 think he got held? Let's see. There he is, arms out. Look, hey man, yeah, I'm getting held. Look, I'm getting held. You see me? I'm getting held. Yep. Okay, yeah, you're right. They called it because you were getting held, and that is a huge penalty, as it takes Florida's field goal attempt, which was going to be relatively, well within Smack's range from here if you just take a knee. It was going to be really within his range, a chip shot field goal here, and instead you move it back 10 yards, and then Florida would miss. Trey Smack would miss this field goal. So Florida leaves 6 points on the table for missed field goal attempts. Florida could have gone for it on 4th down and perhaps gotten more. And even on this play here, maybe you take a shot at the end zone, maybe you don't. But obviously, if you don't hold here, you probably pick up 3. So Florida missed opportunity there. So despite dominating the first half in most regards, they are only up 12-7. Florida State comes out of the locker room, drives down the field in 3 minutes, and scores a touchdown to take the lead 14-12. So all of that work of the first half erased. Florida now in a deficit. How will they respond coming out of halftime? Well, we're going to go right back into 12 personnel, bunch the field up, and see what we can come up with. Florida State answers by saying, we will load the box with 8 people. We'll play your game, and we'll trust that our defensive line, that's not a good look, by the way. Take a look at that hold. That's not a good look there, Cameron Waits. We'll trust that our defensive line can get in here and really wreak havoc, and that looks like wreaking havoc right there, and put you down. So success on that regard. 2nd down now for Florida. Nothing doing on 2nd down. It's now 3rd down and 12. Again, momentum meter max Florida State right now. Florida's got to make a play. Perhaps Max Brown can make a play. The best protection we've seen in a while for Florida. Montrell in pass pro redirects here. Florida State playing man-to-man, which Florida knew pre-snap. Why do we know that? Because you can see he's following Ricky. We know we've got man. We got to win our matchup here. Let's take Ricky on this right here. I want you to notice one thing, right? It's Florida State's playing man, but take a look. They pass this off right there. Still playing man, so it doesn't change your read for the quarterback. You're just seeing if your guy can win, but they do pass it off. And then Ricky with a little fake right here, a little head fake, snaps off to the inside, gets some separation. Nice explosion on the route, giving yourself giving your quarterback rather a nice window to make this throw. Clean pocket for Max. Let's watch Max's finish again. We talked about this earlier. If I'm coaching Max, notice how he once again is going to finish back. Momentum is going backwards. Angle of his body is backwards. We want him to drive through this throw, not finish back like that. He's finishing backwards. That's going to cause inaccurate throws, which is what happens here. Ricky shows great hands, as Ricky does, behind him while running, snags this thing clean, and converts for the first down. So again, the receivers did a great job helping out Max Brown. Accuracy was generally not there. It's not there on that play. But Ricky comes down with this catch and converts. Florida picking up a first down. So hey, not dead yet. 1st and 10 now for the Gators. Jet motion, fake to Trey coming here. Get the defense moving just enough this way. Then Max Brown again, nice, long, sticky exchange on the zone read right there. But really the offensive line, this is just a great job. We have not seen this clean of blocking for most of this season. We saw it a lot last year. Richie Leonard again going to do a nice job right here, right, holding up, allowing this gap to exist. There you go. And we're off and running with Montrell into the secondary. Chunk yardage, first down, equaling first down. 3rd and 4 now. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, so plenty of time remaining. We've talked about Max Brown being a 10 out of 10 zone read quarterback, and let's look and see why that holds true for game 2 of his career. Look at that fake. I mean, again, this is a teach tape. It's a teach tape zone read. It's so good. The location of the ball fake, how well he hides it, and look at what he does to the D-end. Watch the D-end eat that fake like his favorite cookie. I mean, he is way over here. Look how far away he is on this fake. That is elite stuff. I mean, this is so good. His job is to read this. His sole job is to be the edge defender and read this correctly. And I mean, that is not how you read that correctly. I mean, look at him. He is out of the play. That's a win for Max, and then enough yardage there from your QB, picking up 10 from a simple zone read. Again, I think Florida should have gone to this more than they did, but a huge pickup here in Florida showing, hey, we've got an answer in us here. 3rd and 7 now. Florida goes empty. If you see Florida go empty and you have Max Brown in the game and you're a defensive coordinator, are you thinking they're going to run the ball at the quarterback? Yeah, probably, right? So Florida State does something nice here. We're going to call this bait. This is a bait play by Florida State. Florida State would be happy for Florida to try to run this if they know it's coming because they feel pretty confident they can stop it. So rather than putting a linebacker here and saying, hey, look, we're good, we got you, we're going to chill with this, we're going to bring our safety in to do that job, and then there you go. The only risk here, of course, is what you see right there. Look at that, right? Look at this. Look at this. That is filthy. The only problem is this is a called run play for Max Brown. He's not bailing. This is the play, and Florida State is banking on the fact that this is the play. So the safety is just flat foot reading this. That's why he's not moving anywhere yet. He's feeling this is probably the case, and therefore you take this, which is why back in the day you would recall Tim Tebow taking these snaps, taking a step or two forward, kind of ducking down, is he was holding that safety long enough so this route would run by him. That is why quarterbacks like Tim would do that. In this case here, we're going to open up and go way too fast, just go right away. Not going to matter because Mazuka right here is going to completely whiff his block. There you go, gone. Right? It's not good. Safety coming down to help. Safety coming down to help. We've already whiffed the block here. We got to get 7 yards. Well, Max makes that guy miss. Made him look pretty bad, right? But you're not going to make 3 other guys miss. No way. And then there we go. So 3rd and 7, gains about a yard. We're kicking a field goal to go up 15-14. So this play call, in my opinion, don't love this one. I think you've gotten away with this once before on Florida State. They already know he's a runner. They're not going to let you have it again here. To me, if you wanted to hit home run with a creative play call here, it would be to know, using game theory. You guys on the podcast, you know we talk about game theory quite a bit. If I know as a coordinator what you're probably going to do, then I want to go one level past you, which is to show you what you think I'm going to do to bait you into it, and then send something past, right? Instead, Florida did what Florida State thought, and Florida State got the result they thought they were going to get. Florida's defense gets a stop. Less than 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. It's 2nd down and 9 now for the Gators, leading 15-14. Hansen comes in motion. We know that Florida State's in zone. Florida right now looks like they have a 3-on-2. 3-on-2 right now. Safety's far enough away, and if you bring him here, ETN here, you should have 3 blockers to account for your 2 receivers. There's one. Here's your block. Here's your block, and there's your block, right? That's what you're looking for. Except Trey in the ET offense, ET phone home, as we talk about in the podcast here, ET phone home. That's right, with the ball in ETN's hands. We want the ball in Trey's hands. However, Trey, I don't know what Trey's doing there. Not a good look on film there from Trey. He actually winds up getting ETN hurt. ETN will play one more play and then be out of the game. He gets hurt on that tackle. It's a good play by Florida State, but obviously, if you're Trey, you know you got to block him. That's your responsibility. And Trey just sort of cruises on out and then I think remembers he's supposed to block him. Oh, man. That's rough because here for Florida, this is a good look. Again, this is when you want to run these plays. If Trey gets in his way at all, you get the ball to your best running back and one of your best playmakers in space. So I like this call on 2nd down and 9, but Florida does not execute it at all and actually gets ETN hurt and knocked out of the game. 3rd and 14 now, something Florida finds itself in far too often. These 3rd and really longs every single game, 2 or 3 or even 4 possessions, wind up with these super long 3rd downs. That was not happening in the first half. It's happening now in the second half. Again, you can see Florida coming across in motion. Then you're going to see the signal. He's being followed right here. Hey, let's pass this off. We're still in man. But let's pass this off to each other. And there's the pass off. And the reason you pass that off is so you don't get stuck chasing this route if it's something like this. It's very hard in man to stop. Instead, you get better leverage just to drop that off, right? That's what's happening there. Good defenses do that well. And then there you go. Now, Florida State's going to bring 5 and then eventually 6. They're a team that generally does not bring a lot of pressure. They're going to bring a lot of pressure here. This is a chance for Florida to hit a home run when you get this kind of look, or it's a chance for Florida State to make a big play. In this case, Florida's blocking does hold up. We do have a clean pocket. Now, right now, it is 3rd and a mile, but if you're Max, take the first open guy you see right here. Stick it to him. You know they're in man. Give him a chance, right? Give Trey a chance to make a man miss here and make something happen. Instead, we climb. And now that we're climbing the pocket, let's buy a little bit more time. You still have some time in here. Let's keep our eyes downfield, buy a little more time, nestle in here. If we do, we've got Ricky, right? Or we've got Khalil. He's open, Ricky's open, Trey's open. So Florida wins their one-on-one matchups versus the cover 1 quite significantly, again, versus the best passing play defense in the country. Now, one of the big reasons they are is they have 2 defensive ends that get tons of pressure. But regardless, Florida wins a lot of battles here. Max, obviously a backup quarterback, has not played a lot. I do not expect him to do what I'm saying. I'm merely showing you that's what you want a veteran, experienced quarterback to do in this look here is keep himself alive in the pocket, buy a little time, and then he has it. He has the hole right here. Sling this ball here for a huge play. Put this ball in here for a first down. The safe ball, of course, is there. Max is going to get none of those things done. We're off to the races. He'll pick up some yards, but not enough. And Florida forced a punt. 4th quarter now. Florida still in the lead, 15-14. Florida's defense gets another stop, and it's 3rd down and 4. Florida going to run split zone right here. In reality, I'm sure they're going to wish that they ran this actual screen here to Trey, right? That would have been nice. Let Trey, your best athlete, get out here. We've seen him do it before. But we go split flow, which has worked really well for Florida in general. It's not going to work here when the combination of Slaughter and Mazuka either don't get their responsibilities correct or just mess this up, as nobody is going to block here. And then obviously you have the unblocked by design edge defender coming through. But this is the one that you are supposed to be blocking, and you do not. And that is going to end that play and any chance of Florida getting a first down. Now let's look at what Max Brown's zone read ability does to Florida State. They actually commit 2 defenders on the edge here, which is why, of course, Billy is calling this split flow zone because he sees they're committing two defenders to Max Brown. That's high praise from Florida State's defense. It's allowing Florida's running backs to have a better day, but you can't completely miss a block and expect good things to happen. 7 minutes left in the game. Florida down now 17-15. They need a drive in the worst way. Have only had one drive resulting in points here in the second half and really just haven't done a whole lot. Consistently going to run a play fake here, and unfortunately, everybody is going to get in. Hansen gets beat right off the jump. We're getting driven back here. That's Leonard getting pushed back, and now we're going to give way here and give way here. Everyone is covered. We are going to get a late opening from Treyon Webb, who's got to be in the game because both Montrell and Etienne at this point in time are banged up. Not great with this rivalry game on the line. And Max Brown obviously in trouble, right? He feels the pressure here. He sees the pressure here. Sidesteps it nicely, tries to get out of the way. He's got more pressure here. I mean, that is a sieve. That's not going to work. It's going to be a sack. And Florida, again, is going to go behind the down and distant marker. Not where you want to be if you're going to have success. 2nd and 16 now. Florida really back against the wall. Trey coming in motion, showing man. Man defense here by Florida State. So take your matchup. Except, nice work by Florida State, they're not in man. Right? I love when defenses do this. It's very simple to do it, but you're going to show them that you're a man by trailing. But then as soon as the ball is snapped, you actually don't play man. You drop straight back into a zone. Nice look. Now, obviously, if you're Max, you have time to pick this up. This is what you don't want to do. We talked earlier about his penchant for backing up, backpedaling, not staying on platform, not finishing, driving forward. Watch what happens here in the backfield. There's your right foot plant. Good quarterbacks now need to drive forward, get your leverage forward, find your throw. Instead, he resets himself, body leaning now backwards. And now we're going to backpedal, and now we're flat-footed backpedaling with pressure in our face, leaning back, cannot drive on this throw, and now we're in trouble because we've been staring down these two receivers the entire time. We're just looking at them, look at us, leaning back, going backwards, flicking this ball in here to where now the defender comes downhill, chance for an easy pick and a game sealer perhaps, and he drops it. So a gift from Florida State here on Thanksgiving weekend. Florida's still alive, but now facing a very long third down and a quarterback who is starting to feel the pressure. 3rd and a mile now for Florida, 3rd and 16, and they are going to have some open receivers here. Probably not going to convert the first down, but you love to at least complete a pass. Florida State going to twist again in here, twist on the inside. Of course, it's going to work. This is why this works well. Good job here by the D tackle to drive in here, create chaos, move the center, which now does not allow Florida's zone defense to fan out and pick up the stunter. And now he's right in his face, right? So what does Florida have right here? Well, you've got Arliss wide open here because they're dropping out on the sticks. That's a play that you ideally want to hit. This is the ball you're looking for first. You'll at least take Trey whenever you can if you get in trouble, because that ball allows him to beat somebody. But you do have Arliss here for a big play, and that should be where Max Brown is looking, is in this area. However, he feels the pressure now because Florida has not gotten this correct, and he tries to step up and get out of the way, which he then does, and then what are you gonna do here? Get tackled, go down. Florida's punting, running out of time in the 4th. Things are not good. Florida State would score on a long drive, converting multiple thirds down. Max pain for the Gators. They're now down 9 with under 3 minutes to go in the game. This game is for all practical purposes over. And we have 2 more plays left, including this one, on our season before it is over here on the film review. And what do we have here but a bullying? Let's take a look at the Alabama transfer right here. Damian George, and you tell me what you see on this play. But grown man strength driving him all the way into his own quarterback for a bowling sack. Right? That is a strike right here. Bowl it right there. Let it hook on in. Hit the head pin. Boom. Sack. A violent sack at that, by the way. I mean, this is a hard hit, given that you're not even hitting him. You're pull shotting him into him. Right? I mean, look at this. Just an absolute takedown in this situation. Again, the game is essentially over here. But what are you going to do if you're a quarterback and your left tackle on the go gets driven all the way back into you? And that's what got that's just, that's the state of Florida football. 2 offensive line coaches, a lot of capital committed towards it. And it's one of our worst position groups on the team. It's really the worst position group on the team. Not a good look. All right, 4th and 20. Our suffering is almost done. The last play, of course, we're going to see it is going to be a pick. Florida goes for this here. Again, some pressure right away. There it is off the edge. Pressure into George. George holds up a little better this time. He doesn't get pull shotted into Max, but he's close. And now Max, with a pocket, he can actually throw from here. With a pocket, steps up and chooses, a choice that really can't be made here. I mean, there's 2 guys there. No window. Not a throw you can make. Look, this game is over. He's not open. He's not open. He's not open. You can take a check down. They're not going to get there. Doesn't matter, right? It's over. Try to make a play. At least you got the ball off. It's a pick for Florida State. Doesn't score, which is the only saving grace. And this game will end this way, 24-15. So Florida will take another L, losing 5 straight to end the year this year, losing 3 straight to end the year last year. That's 8 straight losses in 2 straight years to finish off seasons. Just not a good look. Billy's going to face a lot of questions. He's raised a lot of questions this season, where on the film review, we hope we'd have more answers than new questions. But we still have tons of questions about this football team, this staff, the direction Florida is headed. Of course, the more data you get, the more evidence you have, the more concrete your opinions and conclusions can be. That is the point of film study. But for this season, Florida's offense is going to finish in the top 40 in success rate. They're going to be successful on early down plays, or what we call standard downs, and they were not successful on passing downs. 3rd and 5 or longer, 2nd and 7 or longer, a major Achilles heel of this team, as well as just getting behind the sticks in general. So a disappointing, frustrating loss to the rival Florida State at home in the Swamp. Offense just couldn't get anything really going. Yes, backup quarterback. Yes, good defense. But Florida, of course, on their own again. Really a victim at times of just their own play design, lack of aggressiveness, and seemingly willingness to try to push a lead when you had the chance with the ball in your hands. So frustrating season for Florida. 5-7 is the final record. As always, though, I hope you did enjoy watching this entire season on film. It will be a marker that will now live on forever in YouTube. This 2023 season, hopefully, will represent a bottoming for Florida in general. Now, this season is better than last season. It is better success rate for offense and defense, but generally speaking, certainly 5-7, you hope to represent a bottoming of Florida's program with some sort of positive momentum beginning next year and then on into the future. With next year's schedule, of course, your guess is as good as mine as to whether that is going to actually be positive. So a lot of hurdles remain. All right, that's going to do it for me. That's going to do it for the film review. That's going to do it for us. I do plan on being back in the bowl season and playoff season with some special clips for you, perhaps of other schools and meaningful plays that go down for that. So stay tuned for that. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this season. I hope you enjoyed this film review. And I look forward to being back with you next time, whenever that may be. I'm James for the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. And as always, go Gators.